So I was pretty hesitant to get on here this morning. I broke fast last night with lemon water. And then this morning, technically I wasn't supposed to break fast with the juice until noon. But I woke up and really felt like my body needed that. I'm in my luteal phase. And I have a meeting with my pastor today in a couple of hours, and I really didn't want to be kind of in la la land. I wanted to be a little bit more grounded. And the interesting part about this, I had some crazy dreams last night, and I dream a lot typically. And I had one dream about saving this woman from this like horrendous situation, like scooping her up and running. And then I had a dream about family, and I woke up and journaled about it and prayed about it and prayed for this specific family member. And then, like, I haven't cried during the fast, which I was kind of expecting. I was expecting like a lot to come up and out. And again, that's like the new age talking. That was always like what you wanted to purge, and you wanted to get everything out. You wanted to like understand the shadow and whatnot. And that's not what happened. It was mostly just a blanket of grace. And as soon as I started drinking the juice that we made yesterday, which by the way, I didn't love, I won't even lie. I've been thinking about like soft-boiled eggs with hash browns for like 3 days, and that was not it. But alas, it was nourishment. And as soon as I was drinking it, I haven't really been on social media, and I had just like opened my Instagram app to see if I had messages. And there was a video from Girls Gone Bible about her and her relationship with her dad, and how she was like feeling really intense about like helping all these other people get saved and not focusing her energy on her family. And this is really interesting because this has been a prayer like for the last 6 months of mine. Like, Lord, I know you have a mission for me, and I know that whatever that is, like where I'm at right now, because I'm very far from my family, and I know you have a mission, and also like I need to help my family. And I just broke down. Like, I had to like get on the ground. And it's just so interesting. Like, as soon as I broke fast was when the floodgates opened. Because I won't say that it was like numbing during the fast, but it definitely was this like blanket of grace where it was almost like he didn't want me to have to suffer in it. Like, he didn't want me to have to process. He didn't want me to have to grieve. He didn't want me to have to feel sorrow during this time that was like allotted between me and him. And then everything that he knew that was like still in the back of my mind, I guess, like broke free like floodgates. So that was really interesting. I'm definitely tired. I'm sipping on electrolytes. I had like 8 ounces of juice this morning, and I get bone broth and a smoothie today. All I want is eggs. I'm like the girl that makes eggs as a snack. Like, with whatever. And I had eaten this like savory girl dinner like 4 weeks ago, and I literally like can't stop thinking about it. It was like stuffed red peppers, like those little ones with like cream cheese, and then like a hash brown. What else was on there? I think it was like a couple of eggs, like some olives. Like it was just like a bunch of like savory stuff like in a bowl. And I want that so bad. I want it so bad. So anyway, we're slowly guiding out of this fast. But I want a freaking egg. Okay. I met with my pastor today for some spiritual guidance. I met with him about a year ago, right after I started going to this church, and I've chatted with him like on and off, just like in passing, but haven't sat with him. And so it's gonna be really interesting because I have like a list of things that I'm just curious about and need guidance on. And he's very Holy Spirit led and humble, and I'm really excited. There's bone broth in here. I already took a sip. It's like the best thing I've ever had in my life. Like, I didn't think that bone broth could taste this good, but when you've tasted nothing but water and electrolytes for 3.5 days. It's so good. It's so freaking good. Okay. Met with Pastor. It was great. It was really grounding, and just like the Holy Spirit just speaks through him. He's just like very with it. So that was really reassuring. And now I get to go to work. I get to go to work. I get to. And I brought the rest of my little meals for tonight, which are all very small, but yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm definitely like, now that I've eaten, I'm like, oh, I want to eat a burger, but I won't. Not a burger yet. Not a burger yet. But this is so good. Oh, I could just smell this all day long. All right, we gotta go to work. I think I'm gonna be late. Okay, I definitely took like a week off from recording anything about this fast, but I'm here and we're gonna do a final recap of what I experienced, what has come out of it, what breaking fast was like, just the whole nine of this really wild and illuminating experience. I may have talked about this earlier, but I got more revelation after fast than during. And during the fast, I think that it was less about what I was learning and more about giving my time to the Lord. And as far as actual food goes, I went to school for herbalism and nutrition, and so I have always been like really hyper fixated on what goes into my body. And this has become identities at certain points and become incredibly unhealthy. And I, over the last year, the Lord has really healed my relationship with food. And this just took it to a completely different level. And during the fast, this might sound insane, but during the fast, I found comfort in searching for recipes because I used to like love cooking, and I think that being busy, or even just like being in a fight or flight state, it became a lot harder for me to like cook a meal. It was like maybe once a week I would do it, but it was mostly like girl dinners that I was eating. And so during the fast, I was getting so excited about making food for my body and it being like an art, like this thing that's like not everybody knows how to just like throw together a dish. And I have been blessed by learning that from my Nana, and I think that not using that art is almost like a disservice to God. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit about my revelation, but I was so excited to cook and I had a whole list of recipes that I was going to make. And after breaking fast, I have noticed like the excitement that I have and how proud I am of myself for not letting vegetables go to waste. I would buy all these veggies at the beginning of the week and then I would end up throwing half of them away. And I have like prepped them. I have like done the whole nine. I went through an entire jar of sauerkraut, which I'm like notorious for like buying jars of stuff and letting them sit like halfway and then they expire and then I throw them away. And so it's been like stewarding the food that I've been gifted, and stewarding this body has been a really amazing thing. So the biggest revelation that actually didn't come until like a couple of days ago was the wiring that the Lord has given each and every one of us. I was really struggling with like going forward with doing these vlogs, with doing social media content, and promoting my upcycled like clothing and things that I make and my knowledge, and like just like building a platform, like building something that he has already kind of shown me. And I was having doubt about it. I was like, well, you know, like I don't want him to not bless this, because I've done businesses in the past that were like fully just to feed my flesh, and I didn't want that. And so I was really getting doubtful. I was really like, Lord, I don't want to do this if you're not going to bless it. Like I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. And I was driving a small group one day and I could feel my whole body, like I could feel my whole body respond to him in prayer. And he said, look at your wiring. Look at how I've wired you. And I'm going to get like woo-woo for a little bit because I've talked about how Jesus is the woo-woo. But like I could feel him in the veins in my hands specifically. And being like a creative, like my hands like are what I use. And so I could feel him like in my hands, and him being like, I've already wired you for this. So what makes you doubt in what you will be able to do, because I have already gifted it to you. And after that, I was like, you know what? You're right. And so I posted the first vlog. I've tried to like sit down and like map out things for doing clothing drops and just like making content about him, and not having doubt or not being like, oh, this is silly or this is stupid, or like the idea's already been put on your heart and he's going to bless it if he's going to bless it. And then if he's not, you're going to see that. But knowing that we're wired for a very specific reason. And I kept hearing like, you're made for such a time as this. You're made for such a time as this. And he wires you. I just made a TikTok video about how he doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. So when he puts something on your heart, he's not being like, okay, get everything ready before you do it. He's saying, no, I know that you do this and you're going to have to lean on me. I'm putting this on your heart because you're going to have to lean on me to fulfill it. And I want you to lean on me. I want you to know that you don't have to do this in your own strength and your own might. And so knowing that I'm wired for this specific thing and I have to lean on God, and if I fail, I have to go to him, and I have to like relinquish the control, sit on my bedroom floor as I do, and say, I can't do this without you. Because once you realize the power of God, you're like, I don't want to have to do this on my own. I'm good on that. I did that for a long time. Too long. So that's been like my biggest like whoa coming out of the fast. I would like to do this again. I think I'll probably wait a little bit. I think I said this previously, but I would quit sugar and coffee at least 3 days before actually doing the water fast. If I was going to do it like the same way that I did. I think the first day was so rough because I was detoxing off of caffeine and sugar. I swear by these Real-Lite things. I'm going to get different flavors because I wasn't obsessed with all of them, but these Real-Lite packs seriously got me through. My friend told me to get these this greens powder, and after I broke fast, I drank these, and they are just like packed with both like leafy greens, herbs, like the whole nine. So it really is like a meal. Another thing for my girls is day 1 of your bleed, a scoop of those with lemon and maple syrup in like a tiny bit of maple syrup in your water bottle. Like as soon as you start being like, I'm gonna bleed soon, it made a world of difference this month. Mine kind of like fluctuate, but this time it took away all of the fatigue. I was able to like feel not so down, not like emotionally, but just like energy levels. So I highly recommend those. But I will be doing this again. And honestly, I'm so grateful that I did it. One, because it was something I could document to actually put a vlog up on YouTube, like I've been talking about doing for forever. And it really got me out of my comfort zone with not eating, with having to go to God every single moment of every single day, reestablishing my relationship with food, establishing my relationship with Him, and giving me the motivation to do what I've been called to do. And that even sounds funny coming out of my mouth because like I'm like, oh, you're gonna do social media, or like you're gonna pursue that. And that's the enemy talking, and I rebuke that because this is a platform that has been created to use. And so I'm gonna use it. And if you're interested, I link my Shopify on YouTube. I thrift everything, so everything is one of a kind. So the shirt you see I'm wearing, I don't have on my website. I'm sorry. But I put different things on thrifted material or thrifted apparel. And I also like take stuff apart that I thrift and then remake new things. So I'm going to be doing more of this, and I'm holding myself accountable because now I'm saying it to, I don't even know what, the 2 subscribers that I have. I love you guys. And I'll be doing more like drops of the clothes and talking about it on here and showing you my process of doing it. So that's the recap of the fast. And I feel like it really just reset everything. It really did. And I'm really grateful. I drink more water now. More electrolytes, way more greens. I made gluten-free bagels, these yogurt bagels. And I'm just like having fun with food again instead of it being this like tedious task or like I'll just go grab something relationship. So thanks for being here. I'm drinking my coffee again. It's half calf, so don't worry. Comment if you have questions about the fast or that you watched this whole video. Tell me you watched the whole video. Comment below. I am now one of those girls, which is totally fine. I love those girls because I follow them and I subscribe to them. So subscribe, because I'm doing more. I'm going to be doing like vloggies where I talk about God. I talk about Jesus because I love him. If there's anything you heard in here and you're like, I really want to know more about that, if it's like herbalism, we'll run through the things that I do, okay? Because I do and I've done a lot. I'm an herbalist. I'm a nutritionist. I sew clothes. I manage a coffee shop. I do the events for them. I've moved around the world by myself multiple times. Maybe I'll do like a get to know me. Oh my gosh. Okay. But if you have questions on any of that, or you're like, yeah, I want to know more about that specifically, then I'll make videos about it. But yeah, so, okay. I'm going to stop rambling. Thanks for watching. This was the recap of my 3-day fast, and I'll see you guys next time.